In the middle of Peru's desert, strange shapes stretch across the earth. Some are simple lines. Others form animals, birds, monkeys, spiders, so large they can only be seen from the sky, created over 2,000 years ago. But how and why? The Nazca people didn't have aircraft. Some believe the lines were offerings to the gods. Others say they formed an astronomical calendar. But then come the wild theories. UFO landing strips, messages to beings from the stars, or maps from civilizations far older than we know. Despite decades of research, the mystery remains. No one knows for sure who made the Nazca Lines, or why. Hi, it's me. And when I first saw these lines, my mind was blown. How could anyone create such huge works of art in the middle of nowhere? The Nazca people certainly weren't known for their large-scale engineering projects. Their biggest architectural achievement was their pyramids, which were relatively small by Egyptian standards. So who built these giant lines, and why? There are two popular theories. The first is that they were created as offerings to the gods. This theory suggests that the Nazca people believed that the lines would attract the attention of deities, who would then bestow them with good fortune. But if this is true, why do some of the lines look like animals? Well, according to this theory, the Nazca people saw the animals in their daily lives and decided to immortalize them in giant line form. Other cultures around the world have created geoglyphs too, such as the 1900-year-old Serpent Mound in Ohio. So far, nobody has any idea what any of them mean. But the Nazca lines are different. Not only are they much larger, but they're also much more detailed. Some even depict human figures. So whatever you want to call them, they must have been very important to the people who made them. But there's another theory. It suggests that the Nazca lines aren't random at all. Instead, they formed an astronomical calendar. The lines were used to track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. And because the Earth is tilted on its axis, the lines would have appeared to move across the landscape as the sun moved through the sky. This theory seems plausible. After all, the Nazca people were keen observers of the cosmos. They built their pyramids to align with the cardinal points of the compass, and they may have used the stars to predict the best time to plant crops. But if the lines were a calendar, where did the Nazca people get that knowledge from? Unfortunately, there's no evidence to support either theory. We don't know why the Nazca people created these strange shapes, only that they did it over a period of about 300 years, between 500 BCE and 500 CE. What we do know is that the Nazca people lived in a very dry and inhospitable environment. The desert where the Nazca lines are found receives less than 4 inches of rain a year. If you want to survive in a place like that, you need water. You also need food. And you definitely need to be prepared for sudden floods. The thing is, the Nazca people were doing all of this in the middle of a massive desert. They couldn't just pick up and move somewhere else. So instead, they adapted. They learned how to grow crops in the desert. They developed irrigation systems to water their plants. And they built their homes out of materials that wouldn't wash away in a flood. The Nazca people were masters of adaptation, and they may have been trying to adapt our understanding of the ancient world. It's not uncommon for archaeologists to uncover artifacts that don't quite fit with the historical record. For example, there are several pieces of evidence that suggest the Vikings had a much greater understanding of mathematics than we previously thought, and the Inca people kept detailed records of their history on knotted ropes. Perhaps the Nazca people were more advanced than we realize. Maybe they did have access to technology that's unknown to modern archaeologists. Or maybe they were visited by a civilization from beyond our world. The Nazca people certainly didn't leave behind any written records, so anything is possible. The truth is, we simply don't know who built the Nazca lines or why. But that hasn't stopped people from trying to figure it out. Some believe the lines were left behind by aliens, while others think they were created by a long-lost civilization. Nobody knows for sure, but that won't stop us from trying to find out.